The boy has always enjoyed making funny faces since he was young. The more his mother scolded him, the more he insisted on doing it. As he grew up, he turned into the funny face guy. Because of this, he could never find a girlfriend. Until one day he met a woman. They fell deeply in love with each other at first sight. They felt they were a perfect match.
You want to get out of here?
Yeah!
So they got together. I'm curious about how they should align their mouths when they kiss. They drank together, took couple photos together. The man accidentally bumped into a thug, who slapped his funny face straight. He was very happy, but his girlfriend couldn't accept it.
I thought we had something.
I'm good. You're just not my type.
The man said he could keep his funny face for the rest of his life, asked his girlfriend for a chance, but she still insisted on breaking up. At that moment, a person with a funny face appeared from behind a tree. The girl fell in love again.
You wanna get out of here?
No! Hey!
The dying old man drank the miraculous cream, suddenly became full of energy. An intellectually disabled child got one injection. His IQ soared to 180. It could even cure blindness, turn ugly men into handsome ones, restore deformed noses, make the elderly instantly youthful, regenerate amputated arms, even bring the recently deceased back to life.
What the hell?
It wasn't just for humans, it worked on anything. It could repair cars and household appliances. Applying it on hands could produce gold, silver jewelry. Applying it on a cheap car would instantly turn it into a luxury car. The world became filled with wealth, diseases and suffering disappeared. Everyone became high-quality humans, even dogs could stand upright equations. The cream could regenerate itself, no worry about running out. People cultivated deserts, infinitely replicated food, treated polluted water. But all this threatened the elites at the top of the pyramid, whose power could overturn right and wrong.
No.
A father was playing hide-and-seek with his son, but he fell asleep while searching. The next day, he completely forgot about his son. The son, still hiding, was secretly delighted that his father couldn't find him. 2 years passed, the father had long forgotten about him. 10 years later, the father was preparing to move. Before leaving, he asked his wife to wait.
We didn't forget anything, did we?
The son was very excited, thinking his father remembered him, but the father only came back to get his computer. Soon, new owners moved into the house. The dog could smell the boy's scent and barked nonstop. Time passed, the house changed owners again and again. 50 years later, the boy, now an old man, still believed his father was looking for him. The house eventually became a shelter for homeless people. Years passed, and the house was finally slated for demolition. The developer turned and saw an 80-year-old boy.
Stay in your flow and always finish what you started. Yeah, congratulations. No one found you.
A hand grew out of a flower pot. Because a man accidentally threw his deceased wife's fingernail into the flower pot. The man tenderly cared for the hand, watering it and wiping it gently. They interacted and played together, even playing the piano and watching movies. The hand even drew a picture for the man. A few days prior, the man's wife had passed away, leaving him devastated. He found some of her fingernails on the dressing table, tossed them into the air. One accidentally landed in the flower pot. The next day, a hand sprouted from the soil. They spent time reading, drinking together, even slept holding hands. The hand even cooked for the man. He felt as if his wife had returned. He wasn't satisfied with just the hand and kept watering it, hoping a body would eventually grow. One day, the hand discovered a woman's photo in the man's phone. It got furious and kicked the man out of the bedroom, pouring alcohol on itself in anger. The next day, the man found the flower pot broken on the ground. He rushed to perform first aid on the hand. Thankfully, it was unharmed. The man placed a ring on the hand and they reconciled. But there's one question: why didn't a body grow from the flower pot? The man could only see the back of his head. He picked up a small hand mirror. When he woke up, he found that the mirror had turned into liquid. He removed the mirror, tried to stick his head into it, discovering an endless depth of water inside. He noticed someone slowly sinking in the water. Frightened, he dropped the mirror but then felt compelled to help. He put on a diving suit, secured a safety rope, dived into the mirror. After a while, he pulled out a man who looked exactly like him. Instead of thanking him, the rescued man started to beat him up. After a bout of fighting, they both got tired and sat down to drink beer. The mirror image handed the man a door bolt, which opened a long sealed room. Inside, inside, he found his wife's red dress on the bed and a photo of them together on the wall. It turned out that his wife had drowned while diving. He couldn't save her, leaving him mired in guilt. The man couldn't see his face because he couldn't face himself. He finally saw his face. Everything returned to normal. He no longer avoided his past. A man suddenly discovered that his computer mouse could move outside the screen. So, he slowly moved the mouse under his female boss's desk. Soon after, the boss rushed to the bathroom. Excitedly, he told his friend about this discovery, but his friend had a more sinister idea: world domination. The man quietly used the mouse to highlight his friend, pressed the delete key, People downstairs saw this and threatened to call the police. Panicked, the man quickly selected everything downstairs and deleted it, restoring peace. He then returned to the office and added several zeros to his salary on the contract. Unable to contain his laughter, he also shrank his boss's car. Just as he was about to use his computer to conquer the world, a giant mouse appeared. With a double click, the man rushed into the public restroom in a hurry. Just as he closed the door to the adjacent stall opened. A man wearing a cap stepped out. Even more bizarre, he didn't leave but walked right up to the man's door. The man expertly pulled out a tool and inserted it through the gap in the door. It was clear he was a creep. The man in the restroom, relieved, prepared to leave. When he opened the door, he was startled. However, the cap man looked even more confused, as if he was also very surprised. This is a miniature schnauzer who used to be an assassin. After retiring, it took care of a human pet. Their life was very peaceful and carefree, but their happiness didn't last long. They were noticed by a gang. One night, the dog sensed some movement and rushed out. When the man went out, several masked men with weapons mercilessly killed him. By the time the dog appeared, the man was already dead. At the man's funeral, the dog swore a blood oath to avenge him. It used both paws to retrieve its long-buried weapons. The gang realized they had messed with the wrong dog and prepared for a final battle. They sent assassins to surround the mansion. The dog called the gang leader.
This dog dead!
They underestimated the dog's combat skills. It avenged the man with merciless bullets, using their blood to honor the man's spirit. When the FBI arrived at the scene,
no law in here says dog can't shoot people.